What is up, my dudes? We've got the Corporate Esports Association Dota 2 Spring 2019 tournament going on. Today we've got Amazon Fishing Boat versus Amazon DeepDivers, so a bit of a team kill here. These guys probably practice against each other a lot as well, so gonna have some targeted bans, I hope. Viper, very generic so far. Viper, a very strong hero.
10 seconds to pick.
But, you know, there are those heroes like Meepo or Ember Spirit where you just know that the other team plays it really well, and it's like, you gotta ban them. That's what these first bans are usually for, these respect bans. Bounty Hunter coming out of FishingBoatV2, so Bounty Hunter, a pretty obnoxious hero right now. Renata does 170 bonus damage, and he steals your gold as well, so what a dick. Tango coming out as a ban from DeepDivers. Yeah, another really good hero right now. We see him a lot in mid lane. I'm not sure which version this game is being played on. This replay is from at least 2 weeks ago. So maybe not having the nerfs that he just recently got yet with a lucky shot. I want to join that party right now.
Remain. Dire's ban.
Bat Rider coming out of Fishing Boat. So this is what I want to see from these two teams, these targeted bans. Bat Rider, not that common of a pick, at least not that I've seen so far recently. He needs a lot of farm to get ready. He needs to get off to a good start.
10 seconds to pick.
Very easy to just counter pick him. Someone like PL, Abaddon, very popular these days. You just dispel her sticky napalm charges with the Aphotic Shield. Ursa ban coming out of DeepDivers. Ursa is a very good hero now.
Dire team pick.
And the Jug coming out of FishingBoatV2. Jug, not only a hero you see in the first two picks, it can happen. It's a very strong pick, especially if you're the first pick. You can pick it in the second position and protect it with 2 bans. So Amazon Fishing Boat, understanding the draft order and
team pick.
Understanding that Juggernaut is going to be a very good pick for Amazon DeepDivers. Razor coming out early. I like this a lot. Razor's a flexible pick. Go into any lane. He's just very good all around. Lane dominator, so you really can't lose, especially if you're up against a melee hero.
Only 10 seconds. 5 seconds. Hurry, hurry. Radiant team are now picking.
Shadow Shaman coming out of FishingBoatV2. Shadow Shaman is a very good hero right now as well. He's always been good, but sometimes he gets bullied in the lane a lot. And just really can't get off to a good start. You know, if you get your levels, maybe level 2 ulti, at level 3 if you're going late, and you can just take out Raxes by yourself.
Dire's turn to make all the runs.
And with Centaur for FishingBoatV2, Centaur's not going to do very well against the Razor if they decide to put the Razor in the safe lane. So, already a potential losing matchup for FishingBoatV2. But to be honest, there's not that many options. Peggle is banned, so probably the only offlaner that could deal with a Razor okay. Kind of really need that mobility skill. We've been seeing a lot of Queen of Pains and Maranas to try and counter the Razor.
Dire's ban.
Vengeful Spirit coming out of Amazon DeepDivers. It's always great to have a save on your team. This Venge Aura, the Venge Illusion after she dies, still gives the damage bonus to the rest of her team. So it's nice to be able to contribute to your team after you've died.
10 seconds to pick.
Especially if you get the Ags.
Radiance ban.
Cast spells once she's dead as well. Ember Spirit coming out of Amazon DeepDivers. So Fishing Boat V2 have a pretty good Ember Spirit player if they're banning it. Ember, a very high skill hero, so you really need someone who's played Ember Spirit a lot to do well with him. Gotta understand the limits of the hero.
Only 10 seconds. 5 seconds. Hurry, hurry. Dire's ban.
Drow ban coming out of FishingBoatV2. Drow is very on the rise hero. She's been buffed. She's gotten more agility, about 10 more agility at level 1 compared to pretty much where she was about a month ago. So buff after buff to her agility. And this marksmanship hurts now.
Only 10 seconds. 5 seconds. Hurry, hurry.
Also really great with the Venge, that just damage boost and the Wave of Terror. Really amping up the Drow's damage. Venge, now that they have this Venge, they can go for any like big melee hard-hitting call, and they'll be online a lot earlier. There's a lot of damage coming out of this Vengeful Spirit. PL ban coming out from Amazon DeepDivers.
10 seconds to pick.
Yeah, PL's a pretty good hero. Actually, isn't as good against the Razor as you think. He's still, if you can static link the Phantom Lancer before he's doppelgangers, the Link is still gonna keep stealing damage from the PL. Unless they change that one, I'm not too sure. Lifesteal event coming out of FishingBoatV2. They can't pick the lifesteal themselves because they're up against the Razor. So they just ban it just to get it out of the way. Great ban for FishingBoatV2. Makes a lot of sense.
5 seconds. Hurry, hurry.
We're gonna see the other support from FishingBoatV2 come out right now. Gotta be able to deal with this Razor somehow. Just hold him down a bit longer. They've already got nice disables coming out from the Shadow Shaman and the Centaur Warrunner. But Centaur, he's got to get nice and close for that hoof stomp. So it's going to be harder to get away from the Razor afterwards. Razor's a very fast hero. Well, you want to itemize to be fast. The phase boost drums, sometimes S and Y. Fuels as well, very popular. I've been seeing Atos on a lot of heroes these days.
Dire team are now picking.
And Razor included. Phoenix comes out. Phoenix is not that popular these days. I'm not really sure what changed. Just generally, heroes have been getting a lot more attack speed recently, and it's just getting harder and harder for this Phoenix to drop an egg. Midas got buffed a lot, and a lot of heroes have just been buying Midas. It gives you plus 40 attack speed against this Phoenix. Ogre Magi coming out of Amazon DeepDivers. We don't see Ogre that much anymore these days. He just doesn't feel that great to play. Just kind of just feels like a Bloodlust spot after the 10-minute mark. That's all you do. Your job is to Bloodlust your cores. Of course, Bloodlust is very good on the Razor. Razor does a lot of raw physical damage once it's stolen a lot of
5 seconds
damage, but doesn't have the highest attack speed. So Ogre gonna increase this Razor's DPS by quite a bit. It's gonna help them against the Phoenix too. Get some extra attack speed on all your allies to help you take out the egg faster. So it is a good pick right now. Anti-Mage coming out of FishingBoatV2. A great hero against the Razor, can just blink out of the static link. Venge and Ogre, it's really hard to catch this Ogre Magi. The magic missile can be reflected, so can the Ogre Magi stun, so it's going to be really hard for them to catch him. We're going to see some clowny counterspell swap plays where they both end up in the same position. It's going to be a little bit awkward.
Hurry, hurry.
Actually, no, they should just straight up swap positions, because Anti-Mage would block the Venge's swap and then cast his own. Usually how it works. Terrorblade coming out from Amazon DeepDivers. They want to take this one late. Terrorblade, a great hero with a Vengeful Spirit. Mostly builds his damage from agility, which the Vengeance aura increases. Doesn't increase the plus damage, unfortunately. But Terrorblade, chock full of base damage. The Metamorphosis adds 80 base damage onto his attacks. Can deal with this Anti-Mage pretty easy. The Reflection is pretty good against AM. He can end up burning his own mana and then ending up in a situation where he can't blink out himself. So a nice pick coming out from Amazon DeepDivers. And they don't have much burst damage either. Other than the Centaur, they don't have many good ways to cut through this armor of Terrorblade. Maybe seeing a Spellcaster come out for their mid of FishingBoatV2. Maybe a Athena, but might struggle against the Razor a little bit. She is fairly fast though. Maybe Queen of Pain as well. The double blink gonna make it pretty tough to catch Amazon FishingBoatV2's cores. Underlord Band coming out from Amazon DeepDivers, so they believe that the Razor is going to be the mid, or at least trying to block that option and make it a little bit less incentivizing. FishingBoatV2 do have the last pick, so whatever.
Only 10 seconds.
Well, the problem is whoever ends up being the mid needs to be able to beat both the Razor and Amazon DeepDivers' next pick. So we're gonna have to find a hero that can fit that bill. Razor needs to go up against. Would prefer to. You want to pick a hero with mobility against Razor. So Queen of Pain still in the pool. Mirana still in the pool as well. These blinks will help them get away from the Razor pretty well. Ogre Magi, the Fire Blast is pretty short range as well. It's going to be hard for them to get any catch. And that's definitely what Amazon DeepDivers is missing right now. They don't have a way to start the fight other than just Razor running at them. Maybe Venge swapping aggressively once she gets a bit more levels. The initiation option's kind of lacking on the side of Amazon DeepDivers. At the same time, FishingBoatV2, they can't really do anything until the Centaur gets Blink. Very low initiation. This Phoenix anti-mage lane is not going to be very good. They're both pretty notoriously bad in lane. And the Shadow Shaman probably wants to go with the Centaur. Maybe the Centaur will end up being by himself against the Terrorblade. And that's kind of hurt. Centaur doesn't have a lot of armor. Whenever this Metamorphosis is up, Centaur's going to have a really rough time. He's going to have to leave the lane for 55 seconds. Wind Ranger coming out for Amazon DeepDivers. Interesting choice. I think maybe they could go for a Pugna. He can decrypt himself against the Static Link, or decrypt the Razor at least, slow him down a lot. 60% slow on the decrypt, it's pretty good. And it's pretty obnoxious against Wind Ranger as well.
Only 10 seconds.
Pugna could be a pretty good pick. Helps them set an early game pace with the Nether Blast spam onto towers, being able to push towers early while the anti-mage farms. We got the Shadow Shaman for that too, so I would really like a Pugna pick right now. I think it'd be really good. Alternatives, I still think Lena's going to be okay. She might struggle a bit against the Razor, but should do okay against the Wind Ranger. And Lion comes out. This is going to be a mid-Lion. Oh no, I don't think this is the right idea at all. This Razor might just go mid and run down the Lion. Wind Ranger still going to give Anti-Mage a run for his money. I actually think this should be the way to lane it. Put the Razor in mid and put the Wind Ranger against Anti-Mage. Razor won't be that effective against the Anti-Mage because he just blink out of the Static Link. This Wind Ranger would just keep poking at him with the little pew-pew arrows that she goes for. Doesn't have much base damage early on, but once she gets Phase Boost, she starts to hit pretty hard. And I kind of like this Amazon DeepDivers lineup a bit more. Wind Ranger also great at initiating if she can get those shackles off. It's gonna be pretty tough, but I've seen this Wind Ranger do work before, so I'm pretty excited to see this. And we have a pause straight away. Already a bathroom break. That draft took a little bit too long. So it's going to be the Wind Ranger mid, actually, not the Razor. It's going to be the mid. Yeah, it's going to be the Lion mid. So maybe not the best lane configuration. This Wind Ranger it'll be a bit more effective against the Anti-Mage than the Razor will be. Maybe Razor can just steal the damage away from the supports instead. Shadow Shaman is going to be the position 5 this game, not the Phoenix. I'm not really sure I agree with this one either. Shadow Shaman needs a lot more farm than the Phoenix does to be successful. But let's introduce the teams a little bit. We've got this Chinese player name that I can't pronounce because I can't read Chinese on the Centaur. got the hotkeys aren't working. Got another Chinese guy on the Lion, Z on the Anti-Mage, sometimes when we touch on the Phoenix, and Tree on the Shadow Shaman. So on the side of DeepDivers, we've got Anathorn on the Terrorblade, Dreamcaller on the Vengeful Spirit, Erlenko on the Wind Ranger, Debugbiss on the Ogre Magi, and they're gonna go for an early spec and Smile on the Razor. So this Anti-Mage, he might be forced to skill Blink at level 1, gets Magic Missile, he does skill Blink, he's gonna get away. But his lane presence is going to be a bit worse early on. You want to just trade hits with that mana break early on. It was pretty good. Is this Terrorblade going up against the Anti-Mage? This is actually really smart, because now whenever they force the Blink, they can just use the Reflection. He's already skilled the Reflection. I like this a lot. Unfortunately, they forced Anti-Mage to skill Blink at level 1. So this level 1 Reflection, not going to be as effective as initially they thought it was going to be. But this is pretty creative. Pretty creative way to put pressure on the Anti-Mage. So Centaur gonna be up against this Razor alone. Another pretty good matchup for the Razor. So I really like this lane configuration from the side of DeepDivers. They've got the right ideas. They scouted out the well, I guess there's not much choice for the Anti-Mage. The aggro tri-lane, the Phoenix, and the Shadow Shaman with the Anti-Mage doesn't bring me much confidence. So leaving the Anti-Mage alone to start with, it's not going to be able to get much last hits. Venge is here. Ogre has left. So we've got Shadow Shaman coming bot now. Shadow Shaman and Venge, both pretty low range heroes, so they're going to have to put themselves in peril. This Ether Shock comes out onto the Terrorblade. Terrorblade, one of the lowest HP heroes in the game. And these Ether Shocks are gonna hurt, but he has really high armor, so this 75 base damage, 76 base damage that comes out of Shadow Shaman is not gonna hurt as much as it normally would to another carry. Terrorblade with 10 armor, it's 38% damage reduction at level 1, it only gets crazier. But this Phoenix and Centaur War Runner lane at top, so this is okay. We've got the Fire Spirits on Phoenix, so if Razor ever decides to dive for the Centaur with a big static link, you just Fire Spirits him, and Razor, his attack speed is not very high.
First blood.
Pretty hard. And a First Blood on the Vengeful Spirit. This Shadow Shaman doing a lot of work, just poking the Vengeful Spirit down, somehow getting a better trade. Vengeful Spirit only does 43 damage, so pretty low. The Blink as well, Blink aggressive forward that you probably went for. No, that English was rough. Reflection comes out on the Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage gonna lose a lot of mana. The Shadow Shaman also goes down to the Magic Missile. This Terrorblade is getting pretty low. He doesn't have any more mana to spam Reflection. So good job from the Anti-Mage, burning all the mana off of Terrorblade. Yeah, counter is pretty much over. He should probably pick himself up a Mango if he can. But this Anti-Mage also pretty low on mana. He's only got one more mana for one more Blink. And not looking to get any mana regen anytime soon. Almost got his Ring of Health, so this lane would become a lot easier for him. This Terrorblade is now struggling a little bit. He doesn't have a salve, he just gets one. But this Shadow Shaman hits so hard, he's going to get a level 2 Ether Shock pretty early on, I think. And just this Terrorblade is going to have a pretty rough time. So running at the Razor, actually, Fire Spirits come out. They're not able to get in range of the stuff. Oh, they do get in range of the stuff. Razor stops for a last hit. The dive comes out, but doesn't do that much damage. And Razor dies before he's able to steal all of Centaur's damage. The Retaliate turned on as well for a little bit of extra damage, not too much more. This mid lane, I haven't been looking at the last hits. Lion, he's owning. Wow, I was not expecting this. He's got a lot of decent base damage with this Null Talisman. Don't normally see any items come out of Lion, so yeah, that's why he feels like he hits like a wet noodle. But this mid Lion, getting early levels, he's going to have a fast level 6, and we'll see where he decides to go for this. It's going to be pretty hard to find a solo kill on the Wind Ranger unless she makes a lot of mistakes. So maybe going to go for this Terrorblade, only 620 HP, so it's still pretty squishy. He's actually does most of his damage, 600 damage at level 1, so most of Terrorblade's HP pool Nice reflection onto the anti-mage, steals the rest of his mana. He has no more mana for Blink. The magic missile comes out, but they're just gonna back out. Phoenix TP's in now, and they're in a lot of trouble. The dive forward, Fire Spirits onto the Terrorblade, and he might go down. Another Fire Spirits goes down, another one connects. He's getting pretty low, and the final one's gonna connect, the Terrorblade's gonna go down. Nice Fire Spirit aiming from the Phoenix. He had to hit all four of them to get that kill. It was only the level 1 Fire Spirits at the time. Centaur, top of the last hits chart, doing really well against this Razor actually, but the Phoenix is gone now. The Razor can just run at the Centaur with a static link. And he's just gonna do that. Yeah, here we go. Stomp comes out, but it's not quite long enough to drain the damage. He does end up running out. Guess it did last a bit longer than expected. Only level 1 as well, so it only gets easier, but Centaur probably won't put any points into Hip Stop after for a while. We've been seeing this Max Retaliate a lot because it just gives Centaur that extra burst damage that he needs to get kills, more so than a Double Edge. But Double Edge helps you farm faster. He's gonna go for more points in the Double Edge, so probably looking to farm a bit more. Unfortunately, they have this Anti-Mage, and Anti-Mage is doing okay, actually matching the Terrorblade, so not too bad overall. But they want this Anti-Mage to farm while the other 4 makes space. So Anti-Mage is very integral to a 4 Protect 1 strategy. Mid lane, another mana drain, but immediately cancelled. A little bit odd. He's almost got level 6, and he can buy a smoke, and let's see what he's going to do. He's also going for phase boost, so we're going to probably see that plus 90 damage at level 10. It's going to hit pretty hard. Wind Lace on the Razor. He's going to go for a quick drums before finishing phase boost or tread. So looking to fight a lot earlier. Maybe keeping his boost options open in case he wants to go BTs really quickly. Especially against this Anti-Mage. You really need to up your mobility game to match his. Another reflection onto the Anti-Mage, but Anti-Mage is out of mana, so the mana break doesn't really achieve very much. And there's not... This Anti-Mage is feeling pretty fearless against these 2 heroes, surprisingly. There's no Metamorphosis for 15 seconds, and he knows that. That's probably why he's not feeling the pressure too much. As I say that, he's getting bullied out of lane, so we'll wait till the next... Alright, well, they get a kill in mid. Shadow Shaman makes a rotation. Lion gets the Finger of Death kill. 1 Finger of Death stack for him, another plus 50 damage. And the benefit of going for this mid Lion is you can snowball with these Fingers of Death. The faster you get to level 12, level 18, the shorter the cooldown becomes. We'll see what he looks to go for. Even in the position for... we see Yasuo go for... and Aghanims first, so maybe we'll see something similar. He could also go for a blink to help take the pressure off Centaur a little bit and give another avenue of initiation. But this Lion, he's doing way better than expected. This Wind Ranger's not doing so hot. Dive and Fire Spirits onto the Ogre, but the Centaur's gonna go down. Too much damage drain for the Racer. He's got 89 stolen damage, and he's gonna get the kill on the Phoenix as well. So nice double kill coming out from the Razor. Bot lane, a lot of illusions coming out from Terrorblade Reflection. These illusions from the Shadow Shaman also spawning Reflection. So pretty chaotic. Lags your PC. We might crash. We're not careful here.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Last hit. So Wind Ranger, a full 900 gold behind the line. This line is owning really hard. Wind Ranger doesn't even have phase boots yet. Another Impale onto the Wind Ranger. Hex, and she's gonna go down. Nice rotation from the Phoenix. Level 2 point to the dive, which is not that common. Level 1 dive doesn't do very much, so maybe looking for the extra damage. The cooldown doesn't scale. We normally see the 4th point go into Sunray, just because level 1 Sunray is a pretty good spell. It also gives you an extra mobility option if you need to go over a cliff and don't want to use your dive yet. So, a bit odd that we're seeing 2 points in the dive.
Top tower is under siege.
Metamorphosis comes out again. This anti-mage almost out of mana again. Can blink out if another reflection comes out though. Terrorblade putting pressure on this tower. There's no catapult wave, unfortunately. And Centaur will just die again. Is it very deep, so not really sure what's happening here. There's a drop on the Razor. He's got 168 stolen damage, but Phoenix will dive out. It's got the early drops already. Going back for a Midas is feeling like this game is going to go late, and they're feeling confident in the Terrorblade against the Anti-Mage. And I think it's pretty reasonable. Once Ogre and Venge get an Aether Lens, it should get a little bit easier to catch this Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage gets the Mana Void onto the Terrorblade and kills the Terrorblade. Doesn't have enough mana for another Blink, but nice. Lion gets another Finger of Death kill. Pretty worth. This Anti-Mage might not be too mad. This Lion scaling because he's going for a Midas, so believing in this Anti-Mage and going late game. So this is gonna be a pretty long game. Unless one team makes a huge mistake, we're in it for the long haul. Centaur maybe should also go for a Midas. He's got to keep up with the other cores.
Gold is a great conductor.
10-minute bounty Razor picks up one at top. Phoenix went for a dive but wasn't able to steal the bounty rune, unfortunately. And there's actually going to be three bounty runes going the way of Fishing Boat, interestingly enough. I'm not really sure how Shadow Shaman managed to snatch the ones away from Bud. Just showing up first. Reflection comes out but doesn't get the Anti-Mage in the Reflection. He doesn't have mana for a Blink anyway, but he's already backing off. He sees that the Razor's here, so it's time to run. And they might get this tower now. The Catapult is here, so this is a prime time to push the tower. Wind Ranger just now finished with the phase boots. She's gonna go for an MKB first, interestingly enough. I'm not really sure that's the right choice. It's very, very expensive. You could just get a Maelstrom for about half the price and maybe 75% of the damage output. Ogre just going down. He's just in the dead lane now, so he's trying to buy time, get some experience for himself. He's only level 4, and I would assume Vengeful Spirit took the tome. A Wave of Terror onto the Shadow Shaman. They're going to chase really deep in this. The Plasma Field comes out to get Detect Vision. The Supernova comes down, ends up popping, but the Lion's here. He's going to Earth Spike the Terrorblade. He doesn't even need it. He's got so much damage. Now he picks up the plus 90 damage, and this Venge, she's in so much trouble. Save the Earth Spike from earlier, so now they can get the Venge kill as well. And Stampede comes out onto the Ogre, and more heroes down from the side of DeepDivers. There's chaos all around the map, and looks like Fishing Boat's going to end up on top. Another Mana Drain, just being a nuisance. Interestingly, didn't go for more points in the Mana Drain as you would with your support, but Lion, as a mid, he's going to get his levels earlier on. And I still feel like Mana Drain is the right choice because the level 1 Hex and Plasma Field onto the Centaur, he will go down. I feel like the Hex doesn't really scale that well. It's already a pretty long duration compared to the Shadow Shaman version of Hex, where it starts at 1.25, it goes up to 3.5. But this one already starts at 2.5. The main difference is the cooldown reduction, but feeling like he wants to participate early in more fights, having Hex up more often. He's gonna find the Terrorblade. Terrorblade, not that much HP. This Lion can finish him off in one combo. The Figure of Death comes out and the Terrorblade goes down. A nice solo kill for the Lion. He's on a rampage, he's on for more, but he has no more mana. Only 1 point in the Mana Drain, unfortunately. It's gonna be a while before he gets all his mana back. This is the main downside of not maxing Mana Drain first. But an excellent rotation coming out from the lane. 3 Finger of Death stacks now. Almost level 12, so gonna get that reduced cooldown. He's got a Midas, so he's gonna get level 12 very soon. And the next Finger of Death is gonna only have 100 seconds of cooldown. And it's gonna do a lot more damage as well. Another 125 extra damage. On top of these 3 stacks it already gets. This Finger of Death, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna do 875 damage. Another power shot comes out, but misses the Phoenix and ends up denying the range creep. So that feels really bad for the Wind Ranger, actually. Lion's looking for another kill, but This Wind Ranger is pretty fast. Stampede comes out so that they can get the chase. The slow from the Icarus dive. The Hex into an Earth Spike. They use the Supernova, but the Wind Ranger ends up dying anyway. The egg's gonna go off. It stuns the Venge before she gets out. Unfortunately, Hex is still on cooldown. Earth Spike's still on cooldown. Forster gonna come out next from the line. Races here. Gets Earth Spike for his troubles, and they're gonna be able to get out. So nice disengage from the side of FishingBoatV2. Anti-Mage working towards this battle for still 1400 off. Pretty decent timing considering the pressure has been under. This laning the Terrorblade against Anti-Mage was a pretty good idea, but unfortunately Terrorblade is 1000 gold behind the Anti-Mage already, and while Terrorblade does farm very fast in the jungle, he doesn't farm as fast as the Anti-Mage once he has Battle Fury. Rotation coming in from the side of Amazon FishingBoatV2, but I'm not really sure how they're going to get this Anti-Mage kill. Magic Missile comes out onto the Anti-Mage, the Reflection comes out, but the Anti-Mage just blinked out. They don't have any more catch. Venge not getting in position to line up a swap after the blink. Maybe would have had a chance there. +3 mana regen on the Windrunner makes some sense. I haven't really seen the impact of the Windrun slow like ever. I'm sure it does make a difference. You'd only want to use Windrun defensively, though. You're not looking to slow your enemies unless you're like in the sense that you would be chasing them with the Windrun.
Taking damage.
But it does go up to 60%, which is pretty damn good. Maybe something to think about. Has a Javelin, so she'd still turn that into a Maelstrom, but it looks like she's pretty set on the MKB. There's no evasion, at least not for a while. Long time before the Anti-Mage is gonna get it. Finger of Death comes out onto the Terrorblade and he goes down. Unfortunately, Lion doesn't get the Finger of Death stack. A Supernova goes down, will stun the Ogre Magi. Ogre Magi, he gets hexed. Doesn't catch him with the Earth Spike, he's gonna die eventually. Double kill for the Centaur War Runner, they also get the Venge. So nice 3 for 0. A 1100 gold swing going the way of FishingBoatV2. Yeah, unfortunately, the Finger of Death, not quite enough damage to burst the Terrorblade down. I think you have 3 seconds to secure the kill after this regen, this Midas, it's on cooldown, it's off cooldown, and he hasn't used it, so a little bit disappointing. It's gonna use it on this chicken. Terrorblade has a Dragon Lance, going for a Yasha. He's gonna wanna wait till he gets Manta before he wants to fight again. That last fight was pretty rough. Didn't have any way to kind of play around his illusions. They're all still really squishy. Only 1000 HP on the Terrorblade. Metamorphosis comes out. They're gonna take this mid tower for pretty much free. Nice Bloodlust onto the Terrorblade. He's looking pretty scary. Only 1 point in the Bloodlust though. This is quite an odd build coming out of the Ogre Magi. Nice blink reveal from the Centaur. But the Sunder comes out onto the Centaur and the Centaur feeds his life away. There's no Finger of Death for 15 seconds. They're gonna need more people. Lion, he's got Finger of Death again in 6 seconds. We'll see how to get this Terrorblade. Has he been keeping track of the Lion's cooldowns? The Earth Spike comes in and the Finger of Death's gonna kill the Terrorblade again!
Wicked double kill.
Phoenix goes down to the... Phoenix manages to kill the Razor somehow. Wow, okay, that... How? Who helped him? That shouldn't have happened. Oh, the Shadow Shaman was there as well. Okay, that makes sense. This Lion managing to get another solo kill on the Terrorblade. He's top of the net worth chart, having a pretty big impact. Gotta go for the Axe Nest. I love this. He just needs to rock up and just deal a shit ton of damage with his Finger of Death. Already 4 stacks, so plus 200 damage to his Finger of Deaths. Only gonna get stronger. And he's been on point with these rotations. Just showing up as soon as Finger is ready, and it's time to get a kill. Double damage on the Lion. So this Lion hits pretty hard. Unfortunately, he doesn't have any attack speed. Dive onto the Vengeful Spirit. And the Supernova's coming out. There's a Shackles. Lion 4-stars forward and then takes the kill. You're going to take this tower pretty fast with the Lion DD. I never thought I'd say that out loud. Lion pushing like a
Bottom
madman.
tower is in pieces.
He's got the Aegis, he's got the -2 for the extra
Dire's
attack
bottom
speed.
tower
Already
is
picks
being
up the
attacked.
point booster, and he's on a pretty good start. His AM also has a Battle Fury
Dire's
now.
structures are
Almost got a Yasha as well, just the
Dire's
Band of
bottom
Elven
tower
skin
under
away.
fire.
So they're doing really well. Actually 10 gold ahead. I didn't even realize how far ahead they were. Terrorblade really struggling. He's going for a Linken's, but Lion, he's got 4 single target skills. He can just break it with a mana drain. The Ogre Magi just feeds his life away, tries to protect the tower, but not much use against these Serpent Hordes.
Is taking damage.
Razor going for an Essence Wise, a little bit of an older school build. Maybe wanted to see those aura items, the pipe, maybe the greaves on this Razor. Just being that utility off lane, instead they have 3 carries, I guess, 3 people building carry items and no one building any of the important utility items that help your team fight. But they're also up against this anti-mage, so the anti-mage not going to be involved in team fights, at least for the first 40 minutes of the game. Just doing anti-mage things, blinking around, farming creeps, just hitting creeps for the first 40 minutes. Lion, he's godlike. He gets another kill on the Terrorblade, completely solo as well. He didn't even use a 4-star. He just walked up and just killed them. That was pretty incredible. 3/4 of the way to his Ags almost. This Lion putting in so much work. I wasn't that confident in it initially, but he's doing really well. Not sure if laning the Wind Ranger against the Lion was such a good idea. Shackles comes out onto the Lion, but doesn't latch onto anything, and there's no more stars. The Fire Blast manages to come out before the Lion TP's out, and he will go down. A big kill for the Wind Ranger. 888 gold, a very lucky Chinese number going his way to kill the Chinese player with.
Dire's top tower is being attacked.
Blink forward from the anti-mage, and they're going to take this tier 2 tower. Not much contest. Magic Missile comes out onto the Centaur. A War Stomp swaps the Centaur back in. He doesn't have Stampede yet, so they're going to ignore the Centaur and go for the big kill on the anti-mage. But he blinks out again. A Static Link comes out onto the anti-mage, but he's just going to blink out again. Can they get the Phoenix at least before they leave? Phoenix just TV's out. There's nothing to stop her. Metamorphosis is used. This is a disaster. They don't want to use this. Now Terrorblade has to make something happen. Maybe he would just go back to farming, but he's not ready to fight yet. He's going for a Linkers, didn't end up going for the Manta style. Really respecting this Lion, but I'm really worried that this TB, if he goes for the Linkers now, he's not going to scale. It's going to be really hard for them to get back into the game. If he was going to go for a defensive item, I feel like BKB would have been a lot better. Lion didn't go for a blink, but he's almost got his Ags now. This is going to be so scary. And almost level 18. It's not that close to level 18. But a lot closer than you would expect. He can also just mana drain these illusions away. Goes for the nice Finger of Death and gets the kill right afterwards. 6 stacks on the Lion. That did so much damage. Almost all of Terrorblade's life. And once he gets his Ags, it's going to be a really short cooldown. It's going to go down to 20 seconds, I think, the Ags. 40 seconds right now. 60. It's going to go down to 60 seconds. And he's got it now. It's on the courier. A blink as well for the Shadow Shaman. So Shadow Shaman, also pretty fun. Didn't go for mana boost, so won't be able to go for an Aether Lens as quickly as you would expect. Also got a Clarity, so this is the main problem if you don't go mana boost on mana intensive heal like Shadow Shaman. You gotta ferry yourself a lot of Clarities. Nice Invis, I guess, just walked into the Shadow Shaman. Magic Missile. The Wind Ranger has an MKB now, and she's gonna go for an Axe. So she's gonna hit very hard, but I'm worried that she's just gonna get CC'd. There's so much disable on the side of Fishing Boat. The Venge gets found out by the Centaur Warrunner. Flick Stomp, and she goes down. Another kill for the Lion. As it Ags, 20 seconds left on the cooldown. Has level 18 now, so this is only going to be a 20-second cooldown. Oh, this Lion's going to do so much damage. Also, the AoE on the Finger of Death now. Going to instantly clear all the TB illusions with it. Can use it to farm waves as well. It's so versatile. Does cost a lot of mana, but you get that mana drain.
Radiant's middle tower is being
Anti-mage being sapped up. Blink stop onto the Razor, and the Razor, he dodges the Earth Spike, but will get hexed. Finger of Death comes out, and then a Mana Void to finish him off, and he's still got the Finger of Death stack, so did kill the Razor in time. Heads up play from the Anti-Mage to use the Mana Void to help his Lion farm up a bit, scale a bit more. An Aether Lens now coming out on the Lion. I like this a lot, just that extra cast range gives you few more options. Also increases the range of Earth Spike, interestingly enough. Oh, this Terrorblade, he's in so much danger. They don't see him coming. Ogre's gonna TP into 3 heroes and instantly die. Another Finger of Death comes out. 8 stacks for the Lion. At 20-second cooldown, he's just gonna rack up so many kills now. Nice, this Lion, he's so scary. And the Anti-Mage, he's really farmed now. He's ready to fight. Almost has a Basher and a Manta style as well since we last saw him fight. He got that kill on the Razor, which was pretty big as well. Going for a Veil next on the Lion. So a lot of small items. We're not gonna see him go for any big items. Stomp onto the Wind Ranger and gets fingered and killed.
When you get to hell, tell them I sent you.
And he sent a lot of people to hell with that
Dire's middle
finger.
tower is being
Serpent Wards come down. Razor trying to take him out, but doesn't end up taking any of them out. It's really hard for him. He does have the Bloodlust, which makes it a little bit easier. Gets hexed up. Mana Drain. And he would just back out for now. Spell Shield onto the Anti-Mage. Terrorblade, he gets caught on the back line. He just gets hexed and fingered. And he's down. Lion, he's out of mana now, so he's got to drain some mana. He gets some from the Razor. The Aether Lens also helping out with the mana drain, increasing the latch range, so pretty nice pickup for the Lion. He gets caught out though. Earth Spike onto the Razor, but he's all alone, gets swapped in, Fire Blast, Magic Missile, and the Terrorblade manages to get his revenge on the Lion. 597 gold, pretty big kill. Tips the Lion, so nice BM tip. Razor, he sees the Centaur, but manages to blink out, cancels the static link. So the passive from the Razor not quite going off. Plasma Field slowing down the Centaur Runner. He's pretty tanky. He's just going to TP out. There's nothing to cancel. We didn't see this Razor go for a Yules or an Atos, which is actually pretty common. It helps. You buy for this exact situation where people just TP out in front of your face and there's nothing you can do. A bit of misitemization coming out from the Razor, I think. But this build, he's been trying to play pretty aggressively. I guess like what you would replace is the Sanjin Yasha and maybe just go for a Yules or an Atos instead. BKB gonna come out next, so I like this a lot. Just the spell immunity to help him fight against this Shadow Shaman and this Lion. This Lion's been putting in so much work. Going for a Kaya now. Changed his mind on the Veil, thinks the Kaya is a bit better. He did run out of mana earlier, so this mana cost reduction gonna help a little bit, but it's only 10%, so not that much. Maybe we'll see him go for like the Kaya Sanj, just to take up a bit more. Wind Ranger, 3 o'clock. So she gets a shackle onto the Anti-Mage, but the Anti-Mage, he gets swapped, he's gonna blink out, and the Shadow Shaman uses the wards to trap the Venge. Venge getting pretty low, but manages to stick up. And these wards, they were kind of wasted. They're gonna get farmed up by the Wind Ranger. No, Wind Ranger not feeling confident enough to farm the Serpent wards right now. A little bit scared of what this Anti-Mage brings to the table. He does have a Basher. He's almost got his Abyssal Blade, just the Ring of Health away at this point. And he's so far ahead of the enemy team. 7k gold ahead of the Razor. A Supernova comes out. Lion gets a double kill with a Finger of Death. 12 stacks on the Finger of Death now. The Supernova goes off onto the Ogre Magi. Ogre Magi will go down. Hex onto the Terrorblade. He's out of mana, so he can't Sunder. And he goes down to the Double Edge. Lion, he's got another Finger of Death in a few seconds, so this Wind Ranger, she's got to be careful not to instantly die. Vengeful Spirit buys back, but the other 3 heroes on the side of DeepDivers don't have buyback yet. Then they're going to take this fraction free. They can go for more. Only the Ogre's going to be up for the next 30 seconds, and they're going to go for another one. I think they can get at least one more. They might be able to go for Megas, so it'll be pretty close, depending on how fast this Anti-Mage can push. Lion as well, with a plus 90 damage paying off here, just helping the push a little bit more. The Centaur, he's used his Retaliate. We only had 6 stacks, so not that much damage. And we'll see if Fishing Boat decide to back off. A blink forward from the Shadow Shaman. Shackles onto the Vengeful Spirit. Gets cancelled by the Ogre Magi. But the Ogre Magi dies to the Finger of Death. They're going back to the racks. There's still 3 heroes there. Terrorblade down for another 20 seconds. But both of their supports are dead. So it's going to be really hard for them to make any plays here. This Wind Ranger not being able to get good enough shackles, but there's still not that much that she can do. She's having a pretty rough game overall since that laning phase. This Lion completely taking over the game. 13 stacks on the Finger of Death, plus 1225 damage. Absolutely ridiculous. Serpent Wards go down again. This fight's been going on so long. The Serpent Wards are back up. A nice blink shackles forward by the Shadow Shaman. A Finger of Death takes out the Terrorblade instantly. Gets the Wind Ranger on really low HP, and they take out the Razor afterwards as well. GG is called. An excellent showing by the side of FishingBoatV2. This Lion just popped off and did so much work. Yikes. Yeah, I mean, I really like this lane setup that came out of the side of DeepDivers. Putting the Terrorblade against the Anti-Mage and the Razor against the Centaur Warrunner were great ideas. The Razor had a bit of a slow start, but ended up killing the Centaur Warrunner over and over again. Unfortunately, he was pretty close to his blink by the time that, Razor started having a great time in lane, and it was almost too late. The Terrorblade surprisingly didn't do that well against the Anti-Mage. He skilled Reflection at level 1, but they tried to do a wraparound on the Anti-Mage, so forced Anti-Mage to skill Blink at level 1 instead of Mana Break, and then made the Reflection not as effective in the early levels. You really want to have that level 1 Metamorphosis. Start the lane with Metamorphosis and get an advantage from the get-go. But unfortunately, skilled Reflection instead, so not that great. And the other problem with skilling Reflection early on, as much as this was a brilliant idea, is you really need those points in Conjure Image to farm faster. The illusion damage goes up a lot, from 30% to 60% if you max it out, so a pretty big deal to max out that Conjure Image. Sometimes we don't even see Sunder until level 9, just because you want to max out Metamorphosis and Conjure Image first, so while I like the creativity from Terrorblade, it didn't quite work out. He fell pretty far behind after the laning phase. The Anti-Mage already 1k gold ahead, and this Wind Ranger, what a disaster of a mid lane. Got completely crushed by the Lion, solo killed as soon as Lion hit level 6. Actually, sorry, the Shadow Shaman came in with a nice rotation, helped the Lion get ahead by killing the Wind Ranger with an early Finger of Death, and he just snowballed 14 stacks on the Finger of Death kills. Absolutely insane. He did so much damage, 24,000 damage just from a Lion. He cast so many Finger of Deaths and got so many kills with it. I wish we had Dota Plus to see the individual skill damage, but unfortunately, not really working with replays. I don't really get what's going on. Yeah, that was a really great game. There was nice moves coming from both teams with this Lion. Just took over the game, the real MVP. Only 2 deaths as well. Great stuff coming out of FishingBoatV2.